Welcome to my channel, Legend and Lore Stories. Dear friends, before we begin today's heart-touching tale, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support keeps this channel alive and motivates us to bring more meaningful stories your way. Now let's settle in, take a deep breath, and step into a journey filled with emotions, trials, and resilience. This is the story of a young woman named Natalie Carter, raised in a deeply traditional family in a small rural town in Montana, United States. Her parents believed in strict customs, where obedience mattered more than dreams, and traditions often weighed heavier than compassion. At just 16 years old, while Natalie was preparing for her high school exams, her parents arranged her engagement. She had no say in the matter. Her life's path was chosen for her. Her fiancé was Adam Miller, a young man who lived and worked in New York City. To Natalie's parents, Adam seemed like the perfect choice: educated, employed, and capable of giving their daughter stability. But behind the curtain of appearances, Adam's heart belonged to someone else. He had already fallen for a city girl in New York, and the thought of marrying Natalie felt like a burden. When Natalie first discovered this, her heart broke, but she remained silent. In her world, challenging her parents' decision was unthinkable. One evening, Adam confronted his father, a stern and unyielding man. "Dad, I can't do this," he insisted. "I want to marry the woman I love in New York." His father's face turned red with fury. "I have given my word to the Carter family," he thundered. "You will marry Natalie, and if you refuse, you will no longer be my son." Defeated but defiant, Adam left home and returned to New York. Yet, even there, his girlfriend rejected him. She said, "Until your parents come and ask for my hand, my family will never agree." With nowhere to turn, Adam returned home, broken and ashamed. When Natalie's family heard of this, outrage followed. They demanded the engagement be broken immediately. But Adam's parents begged for patience, swearing that Adam would eventually accept Natalie. Pressured and humiliated, Adam reluctantly agreed. And so Natalie's fate remained sealed with him. That night, Natalie overheard Adam confessing his regret. For the first time, she heard remorse in his voice. Against all odds, she chose forgiveness. Because in her family's world, a broken engagement meant dishonor. And so at 16 years old, Natalie stepped into a journey of sacrifice and endurance that would define her life. After Natalie forgave Adam, something began to change. At first, Adam was embarrassed, avoiding eye contact and speaking in short phrases. But soon he realized how lucky he was that Natalie had chosen not to end the engagement. With his parents' encouragement, he finally reached out. He called her nervously, his voice soft and apologetic. "Natalie," he said, "I didn't understand before. I was blinded by my own foolishness. But now I see things differently. If you're willing, I'd like to start over." Natalie hesitated, but her mother reminded her, "He is your fiancé. Your life is tied to his. A gentle word can heal more than anger ever could." And so, against her fears, she answered him. That one conversation opened a new door. For the first time, Adam began to treat her as a person, not a burden. Not long after, Adam came to visit her at her college hostel in New York State. The moment he saw her, he froze. She wasn't just a girl from a small town. She was educated, confident, and graceful. "If I had known you were like this," he whispered, "I would never have looked elsewhere." His heart, which once longed for another, slowly began to turn toward her. But peace did not last. Both families were stubborn, clashing over every little thing. Adam's father had a reputation for breaking engagements over the smallest disagreements, and Natalie's father was equally rigid. There were heated arguments about dowry, traditions, and respect. At times, the engagement was on the verge of collapse. Yet both Adam and Natalie, despite their youth, worked to hold it together. Natalie's family grew more concerned. "He's unstable," her father said. "He changes his mind too quickly. He has no secure job, End this before it ruins you. But Natalie had already given her heart away. She believed that marriage was not about perfection, but about building a life together. She decided she would stand by him, come what may. When Adam finally found employment in Boston, both families reluctantly agreed to proceed with the wedding. Yet even then, the ceremony was stripped of joy. Natalie's father refused to release her dowry, and Adam's family declined to host proper wedding traditions. No festive gatherings, no celebrations, only cold stares and bitter words. For Natalie, it was heartbreaking. Still, she whispered to herself, I will endure this. I will stand by him. And with that quiet resolve, Natalie stepped into marriage not with laughter and music, but with storms already surrounding her. Natalie and Adam's married life began under heavy clouds. Their wedding, stripped of celebration, felt less like a union of love and more like a reluctant compromise between families. Soon after, Adam lost his job in Boston, and the couple was left with nothing. Families who should have offered support instead turned their backs. Natalie's father refused to hand over her dowry. Adam's father denied them any space in his home, treating Natalie not like a daughter-in-law, but like an outsider who owed obedience without kindness. The small apartment they rented in New Jersey was bare and cold. Rent bills piled up, groceries grew scarce, and neighbors whispered about their struggles. Adam, ashamed and restless, searched for work, but returned home empty-handed day after day. Natalie could see the despair in his eyes. He was a man raised with pride, but now his pride was crushed by unemployment and rejection. Yet Natalie refused to give up. She found small teaching opportunities in a local elementary school, earning just enough to keep food on the table. She borrowed money from her close friends to cover rent. She endured the harsh words of Adam's father, who scolded her for laughing too loudly, for wearing modern clothes, even for keeping the light on too late at night. "You are here to serve us," he declared. "Don't expect freedom." Adam, powerless before his father and burdened by joblessness, sank into silence. But Natalie encouraged him daily. At night, when he lay awake staring at the ceiling, she whispered, "Don't lose hope. God tests those he loves. One day this storm will pass." She became his anchor, his strength when he had none of his own. Their struggles deepened. With Adam's jobless months stretching longer, even food became uncertain. Some nights, dinner was no more than bread and tea. Friends began to avoid them, unwilling to share their burdens. Relatives mocked Adam as irresponsible, saying Natalie had ruined her life. But Natalie held her ground. "I will not abandon him," she told herself. "We will face this together." The weight of poverty was crushing, yet their bond grew stronger. While the world turned its back, Natalie chose to stand by her husband's side, believing that loyalty in hardship was worth more than comfort in ease. Just when Natalie and Adam thought life might improve, new trials came crashing down. Adam began to believe he was cursed. His health grew weak, his sleep restless, and his confidence faded. "Someone has cast a shadow over me," he whispered to Natalie one night. Though she didn't believe in such things at first, his worsening condition forced her to accompany him to different spiritual healers across Texas. They spent what little money they had on charms, prayers, and remedies, but nothing seemed to work. Meanwhile, Natalie's own parents pressured her to leave Adam. "Your husband is worthless," her father said. "Why waste your youth on a man who cannot provide?" They even tried to lock her away, demanding she file for divorce. But Natalie refused. "I will not abandon him," she declared. "He is my husband, and I will stand by him in his darkest hour." The pressure from both sides was crushing. Community elders visited daily, pleading with Natalie's father to let the marriage continue. After endless arguments, he reluctantly agreed. For a short while, peace returned. But this peace was fragile. Adam's father soon became the real villain in their lives. He imposed cruel restrictions on Natalie. She was forbidden to laugh loudly, to wear modern dresses, or to step outside without his permission. "You are not a guest here," he snapped. "You are here to work. Do the chores, cook the meals, and don't dream of freedom." Natalie swallowed her pain in silence. For her, even this harsh treatment was better than divorce. Adam, though educated with an MBA, still struggled to secure stable work. When he finally found an opportunity in Dallas, it came with a price, an illegal demand for a bribe of $300,000. For them, it was an impossible amount. Yet Natalie, with unshakable faith, decided to sacrifice everything. She sold the few pieces of jewelry she had, borrowed from friends and begged acquaintances. Slowly, painfully, they gathered the money. With trembling hands, Adam paid the amount, and at last he secured the job. For the first time in years, hope returned. Tears filled Natalie's eyes as she whispered, "This is the beginning." Our struggles will not last forever. With Adam's new job in Dallas, life finally began to shift. His steady income meant they could repay debts, move into a modest but warm apartment, and live without the constant fear of eviction. For the first time, Natalie and Adam could breathe without worry. Their home was still simple, but filled with laughter, quiet prayers, and dreams of a brighter tomorrow. Adam worked tirelessly, determined never to return to the darkness of joblessness. Slowly, respect returned as well. Relatives who once mocked them for being poor now praised Adam for his success. Neighbors who once pitied Natalie now admired her strength and loyalty. Even Adam's father, the man who had been their greatest obstacle, grew silent. Though he never apologized for his cruelty, he could no longer deny the progress his son had made. Natalie, despite years of hardship under his roof, continued to serve him with kindness. His anger was his weakness, she thought, but my kindness will always be my strength. Adam, too, never forgot her sacrifices. With his first big paycheck, he bought Natalie new jewelry to replace what she had sold. He surprised her with small gifts, treated her with respect, and called her his greatest blessing. "You stood by me when no one else did," he told her one night. "Everything I am today I owe to you." Those words, more than gold or silver, became Natalie's greatest treasure. As the years passed, their marriage blossomed. They learned that wealth and comfort matter less than loyalty and patience. Natalie often thought back to the dark nights of hunger, the tears, the humiliations. What if I had walked away? What if I had chosen divorce? She wondered. She knew the answer. She would have lost everything. Instead, by holding on, she had gained not only a loving husband, but also the respect of both families. Friends, this was the story of Natalie Carter and Adam Miller, a story of struggle, loyalty, and the power of perseverance. May it remind you that hardship does not last forever, but patience and faith can turn the darkest nights into mornings of hope. Thank you for watching Legend and Lore Stories. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your love and support give us the strength to keep bringing you more stories that inspire and move you. Until next time, stay strong, cherish your loved ones, and remember, true loyalty shines brightest in the storm. This is your host signing off. Goodbye and God bless.